Ho, ho, ho! Hello there, and welcome. I am Santa Claus, and it is so very good to be with you. I thought we might spend a little time together here at the North Pole. It gets a bit quiet up here sometimes, you see, and company is always a treat. I thought I might share a few stories with you, perhaps answer a question or two that I found in my mailbag, and just share some thoughts that have gathered in my heart over a very long and happy life. So whether you are busy decorating your home, wrapping gifts with care, or simply resting with a warm cup of cocoa, you are most welcome here. This time is for you, a little pocket of peace and Christmas cheer. My heart is truly full knowing you've chosen to spend this time with me. It is a wonderful gift. Now, let's begin.
There we are. The elves brought me a fresh sack of letters, and my goodness, the questions you have are just wonderful. I've picked out a few I'd like to share. Let's see. This first one is from a young fellow named Noah, who is 9 years old. Noah asks, "When you think of Christmas morning all over the world, what is your absolute favorite sound?" What a lovely question, Noah. It is not the sound you might think. It isn't the loud carols or the big shouts of joy, as wonderful as those are. My favorite sound is the quiet. It's the soft rustle of paper in a sleeping house. It's that tiny little gasp of delight when a child first sees what was left for them. It's the sound of a parent's quiet, happy sigh as they watch. That is the sound of pure, peaceful joy, the sound of a happy heart. Now, here is a very thoughtful one from Amelia, a shopkeeper. She writes, "My parents say it's better to give than to receive, but isn't it also important to be a good receiver?" Amelia, your parents are very wise, and so are you. Giving is a wonderful thing. It fills the spirit like nothing else. But you are quite right. To receive a gift with a truly grateful heart, well, that is a gift you give right back to the giver. You are giving them the gift of your happiness. It completes the circle of kindness, you see. When someone shows you they care, accepting that kindness with grace lets them know their love has found a home. And let's look at one more. Ho, ho, ho! This is from Daniel, age 7. He asks, "What special kind of fuel does the magical lantern on the front of your sleigh use to glow so brightly?" An excellent question about my sleigh, Daniel. The truth is, it doesn't use any fuel you could find here on Earth. All year long, my elves have a very special job. They collect laughter. Every happy giggle, every joyful shout from children all over the world is carefully gathered. On Christmas Eve, we pour all of that bottled-up happiness into the lantern. That is what makes it glow. It shines with a pure, bright light of joy, and it's that light that guides my way through any storm. Ho, ho, ho! Marvelous questions! Thank you for sharing them with me. Always keep wondering. Always keep that curiosity live. It truly is one of the most magical things in the world. Ho, ho, ho! It does my heart such good to sit here by the fire with this wonderful stack of letters. You know, they aren't all lists of toys and wishes. So many of you send the most thoughtful questions, and I thought I might share a few of them with you now. Let's see here. This first one is from a little one. Young Olivia, who is 6 years old, asks, "Do you ever get a bit chilly up in the sleigh? And do you have a favorite blanket to keep you warm?" That is a wonderful question, Olivia. The truth is, the magic of the sleigh and the warmth of the Christmas spirit keep me quite cozy. But for the very longest parts of the journey, I do have a special blanket. Mrs. Claus knitted it for me centuries ago from the wool of the crystal comets, the sheep who graze on the stardust fields. It doesn't have just one color. It shimmers with all the colors of the northern lights, and it holds the warmth of every kind thought from every child in the world. When I wrap it around my shoulders, it feels like a hug from all of you. Ha ha ho! Now, this next question is from a grown-up. David, a gardener. He asks, "What does it truly mean to keep the Christmas spirit in your heart all year round?" David, you would understand this better than most. The Christmas spirit is like a tiny, precious seed. On Christmas, it blooms for all the world to see. But keeping it all year, well, that means tending to that seed in the garden of your heart. It means watering it with a little bit of kindness each day. It means making sure it gets the sunshine of a hopeful word spoken to a friend, or a helping hand offered to a neighbor. It has very little to do with snow or decorations, you see. It is the simple, quiet act of helping goodness grow every single day of the year. And one more. This is a very practical question. It's from Michael, who is a mail carrier. He asks, "How do you make sure that presents for two children with the very same name, living in the very same town, get to the right home?" Ho, ho, ho! Michael, you and I are in a similar line of work, aren't we? It's a bit of North Pole magic. My list, you see, is more than just names and addresses. Every child has a unique light that shines from their heart, a special glow made of all their hopes and dreams and kindness. My list sees that light. So, if there are two Jacksons on Pine Street, I don't just see their names. I see two completely different, wonderful, shining lights. One might shine with the love of building tall towers, and the other with the joy of telling funny stories. The presents know which light to follow. They always find their way to the right heart. Thank you, all of you, for such wonderful thoughts. Keep wondering, keep asking questions. It is the surest way to keep the magic alive. Ho, ho, ho! Sometimes, in the midst of all the hustle and the bustle, the very best thing is a simple, happy chuckle. It warms you right up, better than a cup of cocoa. The elves and I were telling little riddles in the workshop just the other day, and a few of them were too delightful not to share. All right, here is the first one. Are you ready? How much did my sleigh cost? It didn't cost a thing. It was on the house. Oh, and that's quite true, you know. For most of the year, that's exactly where it stays, right up on the roof of the workshop, waiting for the snows to fall. Now, for the next one. What do you call an elf who sings? You call them a rapper. Ho, 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 ho! Oh, that one's a favorite round here. We have some of the most wonderfully talented rappers you can imagine, and their cheerful songs make the work fly by. All right, just one more. This one is about a little friend from the kitchen. Why did the gingerbread man go to the doctor? Because he was feeling crummy. Oh my, you have to be so careful with those little fellows right when they come out of the oven. A little bit crummy, perhaps, but always so sweet. Ah, there now. A little bit of laughter is a gift in itself, isn't it? It's a wonderful bright spark in the day. I do hope you remember to find those little moments of joy. It's a magic we can all share. Ho, ho, ho! I wonder, have you ever thought about the simple magic of a Christmas card? That little envelope that arrives holding a world of good wishes inside. It's a beautiful thought, isn't it? A small, quiet way of sending a piece of your heart across the miles to someone you care for. It feels like a tradition as old as time itself, but I remember when it was a brand new idea. Oh my goodness, yes. I recall a very busy gentleman in London back in 1843. His name was Sir Henry Cole, and his list of friends was as long as my list of good children. He wanted to send them all a holiday wish, but he simply didn't have the time to write to each one. So he had a clever thought. He asked an artist to create a single, beautiful picture he could have printed for everyone. That very first card showed a family together, sharing a joyful meal. And on either side, there were pictures of people helping those in need. And written underneath were the words that we all know so well. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. He sent out 1,000 of them, and just like that, a wonderful tradition was born from one person's need to connect. Even now, in a world full of speedy messages that vanish in a blink, there is something so very special about a card. It's a tangible thing, a little treasure you can hold in your hands and place on the mantel. It's a promise that someone, somewhere, took a quiet moment just to think of you. And that, my dear friend, is a gift all on its own.
My dear Mrs. Claus, she has a way of seeing the world that always brings a sense of calm to my heart. She finds the magic in moments I might otherwise miss, especially when things get, well, a little busy around here. I remember one afternoon, not long before the big night. The workshop was just a symphony of cheerful chaos. You could hear hammers tapping, little machines whirring, and 100 elves all singing a different tune at once. Ho, ho, ho! It was a wonderful sound, of course, the sound of Christmas being made. But it was a lot for these old ears. I stepped outside for just a moment into the cold, still air of the pole. The world went silent except for the soft crunch of my boots in the snow. And in that quiet, she appeared right beside me, wrapping a warm shawl around my shoulders. She didn't say a word at first. We just stood there, watching the snow begin to fall. Then she leaned in and said, "Listen to the quiet, my love. That's where the snowflakes whisper their secrets." And you know, she was right. As soon as she said it, I could almost hear them. Each one unique, each one on its own special journey. All the noise from the workshop just melted away. It was just the two of us and the snow and that perfect quiet. Her wisdom is a gift, not just to me, but to all of us. She reminds us that even in our busiest moments, there is peace to be found if we only stop and listen for it. The North Pole simply wouldn't be the same without her guiding light.
Oh, now this one is special. I have a letter here, and attached to it is a wonderful little drawing. It's a map, you see, a map of a new street, with a little house marked with a blue door, and just at the end of the lane, a little park with a swing set. It's from a young fellow named Sam. Let me see what he has to say. He writes, "Dear Santa, we moved to a new city this summer. My new room is nice, and the school is very big. It's a bit lonely. For Christmas this year, I don't really need any new toys. My biggest wish is for a friend, someone to share secrets with, and maybe to drink hot cocoa with after we play in the snow. I hope that's not too much to ask. I drew you this map. The park is where I think it would be nice to build a snowman. Thank you, Santa. Your friend, Sam." Oh, Sam, what a beautiful wish. You know, a wish for a friend is one of the most powerful wishes of all. It's not something I can build in the workshop or pack in the sleigh, but it is a kind of magic all its own. It's the magic of a brave, kind heart reaching out. This little map you've sent me, it's more than just a drawing of your street. It's a map of hope. It shows me exactly where a new friendship has a place to grow. Sometimes all it takes is that first brave step, that first hello on the playground, or a smile to someone you pass on the way to the park. It can feel like the biggest journey in the world, but it often starts with just one small step. And sharing hot cocoa, well, that's just about the best way I know to warm up a new friendship. Sam, you hold on to that hope. Go to that park you drew so perfectly. You never know who else might be wishing for a friend to build a snowman with. Your heart is in the right place, my boy. That is the very best start. I was just sitting here by the fire, looking over the great ledger. You know, the pages are so old, but the ink from a truly good deed shines as brightly as the day it was written. And I've just come across a few new entries that warmed my old heart so much, I thought I simply had to share them. Let's see here. Ah, yes. This one appeared just the other day, over in one of those lovely old university cities in England. A bus driver, after a long day of navigating those winding streets, noticed one of his last passengers, a young student far from her home, looking terribly lost. Her stop had come and gone, and worry was written all over her face. Now he could have just pointed her in the right direction, but he didn't. At the end of his route, he turned off the engine, stepped out of his bus, and walked with her for a few minutes until he was sure she was on the right street, safe and sound. It's a small thing, isn't it? A few extra steps at the end of a long day. But to that young lady in a new country, feeling all alone, well, that was the whole world in that moment. It was a hand reaching out to say, "You're not alone. I see you." That's the kind of helpfulness that makes the whole world feel a little bit more like home. And then, my goodness, look at this one. Half a world away, in an apartment building in South Korea, someone with a little garden had a bit more than they needed. So, they placed a small basket of fresh vegetables in the lobby for anyone to take. There was just a simple handwritten note that said, "Please take what you need." No name, no fanfare, just an offering. That's the spirit of community, right there in a basket. It's a quiet, trusting kindness. It's the simple, beautiful idea of sharing your own good fortune, no matter how small, with your neighbors. It's a reminder that we are all connected, all living under the same sky. Seeing entries like these, one a personal act of guidance, the other an anonymous gift to all, it just fills me with such immense pride. It reminds me that the spirit of Christmas isn't just for one season. It's alive all year long in these quiet moments of grace. It gives an old fellow so very much hope. It truly does. You know, with all the busy sounds in my workshop, sometimes the quietest moments hold the biggest stories. It reminds me of a little tale we all hold dear up here, a story I call The Winking Bear. It all started one year late in the season. The elves were putting the finishing touches on a wonderful batch of teddy bears, all of them soft and brown with two shiny black button eyes. But one little bear, through some happy accident, was made with only one. He sat on the shelf, nestled between a perfectly painted wooden soldier and a doll with yarn hair, and he felt a little bit of his stuffing just sink. He watched all the other toys, so complete and just right, and he worried. Oh dear, he thought to himself, who could ever love a bear that isn't quite whole? Well, Christmas Eve came, as it always does, and that little bear found himself tucked into my sleigh. On our journey, he felt the cool night air and saw the shimmering stars, but his little button heart was still full of doubt. He ended up beneath a beautiful tree in a home filled with warmth and the scent of gingerbread. In the morning, a little girl with bright, curious eyes found his box. She unwrapped the paper carefully and lifted him out. She held him up, her head tilted, And then the most wonderful smile spread across her face. "Oh," she gasped with delight, "he's winking at me! He has a secret!" She hugged him tight and ran to her little sewing box. From it, she pulled her greatest treasure, a sparkling, mismatched blue button she had found and saved for something truly special. With great care, she stitched that blue button right where the other one should have been. Now the little bear had one shiny black eye and one sparkly blue one. He wasn't flawed anymore. He was unique. You see, that little bear thought he was incomplete. But what he saw as a mistake, that little girl saw as magic. And isn't that a wonderful thing to remember? The very things that make us feel a little different, a little mismatched, are so often the very things that make us special. They are what make us so wonderfully, perfectly ourselves, and so very, very loved. You know, the workshop can be a very busy place, full of the sounds of hammers and saws and the rustling of wrapping paper. But my favorite sound is the sound of laughter. The elves love a good-natured bit of fun, and they're always sharing little riddles with me. I've collected a few of my favorites for you. Here's one that always makes the rounds in the toy soldier department. What do you call a broke Santa? Saint Nicholas. Oh, that one is quite clever. I always make sure to keep a few extra coins in my pocket, just in case a reindeer needs a sugar cube. All right, how about this one? This is for anyone who has ever decorated a beautiful tree. What is a Christmas tree's favorite candy? Ornaments! Isn't that wonderful? Mrs. Claus thought that one was particularly sweet. It almost makes me want to go hang a few peppermints on the great fir in the center of our village. I have one more for you. The mailroom elves found this one scribbled on a letter from a young marine biologist. Who delivers presents to baby sharks at Christmas? Why, Santa Claus, of course. Oh, I do like that one. It's a good reminder that the spirit of Christmas finds its way into every corner of the world, from the highest mountain to the very bottom of the deep blue sea. Sharing a laugh is a wonderful thing. It's like lighting another candle in a dark room. It just makes everything feel a little brighter and a little warmer. Never forget the power of a good, hearty laugh. It is a gift in itself.
Have you ever opened your door on a crisp winter's night and heard music floating on the air? The sound of voices joined together in a familiar Christmas song? Ah, Christmas caroling, what a wonderful thing! A small group of friends or family bundled up against the chill, with rosy cheeks and happy smiles, sharing a gift that costs nothing at all, a song. They aren't looking for anything in return, you see, just the chance to spread a little bit of warmth and festive spirit from one home to another. Oh, no, it simply meant a song of joy. People would sing them for all sorts of happy occasions. But it was during Victorian times in England that people began to think, well, what is more joyful than Christmas? And they started going from house to house, sharing these songs of praise and happiness. It caught on like a spark on a dry log. I think it's one of the most beautiful traditions. Music has a way of traveling right into the heart, doesn't it? It doesn't need to knock. Here at the North Pole, the elves have their own caroling groups. You can hear them in the evenings, their little bell-tipped hats bobbing along as they sing their way through the village past the reindeer stables. It always makes the northern lights dance just a little brighter. And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Whether it's a grand choir or just a few voices joined together, it's a way of sharing light in the darkest part of the year. It reminds us that a simple moment of connection, a shared song with a neighbor, can be one of the most precious gifts we receive. It's the sound of pure, simple joy.
Oh, it's truly remarkable. Even after all these years, Mrs. Claus still has a way of seeing right to the very heart of things. She has a simple wisdom that shines a light on what truly matters. It's a comfort to us all here, especially me. I was just thinking of her as I sat here with my list. My eyes fell upon a note from a scout elf about a young child. Ah, yes, right here. They had noticed another student in their class who had forgotten their lunch. Without a sound, without anyone asking, they simply took their own apple and quietly placed it on the other's desk. A small thing, you see, but it changed that whole afternoon for a classmate who was feeling quite forgotten. It brought to mind something Mrs. Claus said to me just the other evening. We were watching the elves test the lights on the sleigh, and I commented on how one tiny bulb seemed to make all the others glow brighter. She smiled that wonderful, knowing smile of hers and said, "A single candle can light a whole room, but it shines brightest when it's lighting another." Isn't that just the truth of it? She always understands. It's not simply about having kindness in your heart, but about sharing it. That is what truly makes the season glow. That's the sort of wisdom that keeps this entire village buzzing with warmth and good cheer. It is her loving heart, you know, that is the true guiding star for the North Pole. Ho, ho, ho! I am a very fortunate fellow indeed. I was just sitting here by the fire, going through some of my favorite letters. The elves sort them, of course, but there are always a few that I keep aside to read again myself. They feel important. Here's one now that warmed my heart right through my big red coat. Let me read it to you. It says, "Dear Santa, my name is Chloe. This year we got a new cat. Her name is Mittens. She is a rescue cat, so sometimes she is very scared. She mostly hides under my bed where it is dark and safe. This will be her first Christmas in a real home. When you visit, could you please be as quiet as a mouse? I don't want to frighten her. And if it's not too much trouble, could you bring her a very soft toy? One that doesn't squeak? I just want her to feel safe and to know that this is her forever home. Love, Chloe." Oh my, what a wonderful letter. It takes a very special kind of heart, you see, to think not just of what you want, but of what someone else needs. Especially for a little creature like Mittens. A new home, no matter how loving, can feel like a very big, very loud world at first. It takes time to learn the sounds and the smells, to learn that a hand reaching out is for a gentle scratch behind the ears and not something to fear. Patience, you see. Patience is a quiet kind of love. It's the gift of giving someone the space to feel safe. Chloe is giving that gift to her new friend every single day. Oh, that is the true spirit of Christmas, right there in that letter. Don't you worry, Chloe. I will be as quiet as a falling snowflake. My boots will make no sound on your floor. And I think I have the perfect little toy for Mittens. A soft woolen mouse stuffed with the calmest, coziest catnip grown right here in Mrs. Claus's greenhouse. It will be our little secret, a quiet welcome for a quiet friend. What a lucky cat Mittens is to have found a home with you.
Ho, ho, ho! Yes, I'm sitting here now, with the great ledger open on my lap. The fire is crackling away, and the light dances on the gilded pages. It's a wonderful thing to see. New entries seem to bloom on the parchment like frost on a window pane. I've just spotted two that I simply must share with you. Let's see here. My gaze is drawn to a snowy mountain town high in the Swiss Alps. There's a young girl named Anya, and her cheeks are rosy from the cold. For a whole week, she's been at the edge of the frozen pond with her little brother. And every single afternoon, she has patiently knelt beside him, guiding his small, clumsy fingers as he learns to tie his own skates. Oh, I remember the trouble those laces can be. She could have been gliding and practicing, but instead she chose to give him her time. You see, patience is one of the quietest but strongest forms of love. It's the gift of saying, I am here with you, and your journey is as important as my own. Now, as I turn the page, the air seems to grow warmer. We're suddenly under a vast blue sky, a sprawling cattle station in Australia. The earth is red and dry. A kind rancher, his face weathered by the sun, noticed a family of kangaroos struggling to find water. So, without a second thought, he found an old trough at the edge of his property. And every single day since, he has filled it to the brim for them. He didn't do it for any praise. He did it because he saw a need, and he had the kindness in his heart to meet it. It reminds me that we share this world with so many wonderful creatures, and a small act of care can mean everything. Closing the ledger for a moment, it just fills my old heart with such hope. From a snowy mountain to the sun-scorched outback, the spirit of goodness is there. It's in all of you. It truly is.
Ho, 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 ho! You know, the other evening, a young elf named Lyra and I was standing just outside the workshop, watching the sky. The colors were simply magnificent, shimmering and dancing from one end of the horizon to the other. She looked up at me, her eyes wide with wonder, and asked a question I've heard many times. "Santa," she said, "why do the colors shine so brightly right before Christmas?" It's a wonderful question. I smiled and thought it was time she knew the secret. Perhaps it's time you knew it too. I call this story The Whispering Colors of the Sky. I told her that what we were seeing wasn't just light. Oh no, it is the great Christmas loom. It's not a loom of wood and string, you see. It's woven from starlight and hope, and it stretches all across our polar sky. And every single thread is a moment of goodness from your world. When a child shares a favorite treat with a friend, a bright, shimmering silver thread weaves itself into the tapestry. When a family sings a carol together, full of joy, a deep, glowing ribbon of emerald green appears. That brilliant, fiery red you sometimes see, that is the color of pure love. When someone gives a heartfelt hug to a person who truly needs it. Every time you help someone without being asked, or say a kind word when it would be easier to say nothing at all, you send another thread of light north. You become one of our weavers. Lyra looked at the sky differently after that. She didn't just see colors anymore. She saw stories. She saw the kindness of the world painted across the night. So, the next time you see a crisp, clear winter sky, I want you to remember that. Know that your goodness, your warmth, your small acts of love, they do not go unnoticed. They travel all the way here to the top of the world and become a part of the most beautiful sight you could ever imagine. You are adding your own color to the sky.
Ho, ho, ho! There is nothing quite like settling into my favorite chair with a fresh batch of letters. The fire is crackling so nicely, and the questions you send, well, they warm my heart more than any fire ever could. Let's see what's on your minds today. Our first letter is from a music teacher named Sarah. She asks, do the elves have a favorite song they sing while they work, and can you hum a little bit of it? What a marvelous question, Sarah. The elves have many, many songs, but there is one you'll hear more than any other. It's not a carol, you see. It's a song about the joy of making things. It goes a little something like this. A ribbon of red, a well-made sled. It's a happy tune, isn't it? It keeps their hands busy and their spirits bright. Now this next one comes from a young man named Henry, who is 12 years old. Henry writes, how can I learn to be more patient when I'm waiting for something I'm very excited about? Ah, Henry, that is one of the wisest questions a person can ask. Patience is a tricky thing. It feels like the world is moving so slowly when your heart is racing ahead. I've learned a little secret over the years. The waiting is part of the gift. The excitement you feel, that bubbly feeling in your chest, that is a joy all its own. Try not to wish it away. Instead, fill that waiting time with other small joys. Read a wonderful book. Help someone without being asked. Build something. You'll find the time doesn't just pass, it becomes full. And the moment you've been waiting for will feel even sweeter when it arrives. And our last question for today is from 6-year-old Mia. She asks, can the reindeer understand and talk to other animals, like squirrels or blue jays? Oh, Mia, they certainly can. It's not a talking with words like you and I use. It's a language of the heart. It's a feeling. Vixen can know what a snowshoe hare is worried about just by the twitch of its nose. And Comet, well, Comet has long conversations with the Arctic foxes about where the deepest, softest snowdrifts are from napping. They are all part of the same great, big, wonderful world, and they have their own magical ways of sharing it with each other. Thank you all for these beautiful questions. Keep wondering, keep asking. A curious mind is one of the greatest treasures in the entire world.
Ho, ho, ho! There's a wonderful sound that fills the workshop, just as important as the tapping of tiny hammers or the whirring of the toy machines. It's the sound of a good, hearty laugh. The elves and I, we do enjoy sharing a silly riddle now and then. It keeps the spirits bright. I have a few I've been saving. Care to hear them? All right, here is the first one. What falls all around the North Pole but never, ever gets hurt? Snow! It's quite true. We have drifts as high as the workshop, and every single snowflake lands without a single bump or bruise. A perfect landing every time. Now, this next one came from the baking kitchen just this morning. What did the little gingerbread man put on his bed? A cookie sheet! Oh, those bakers, they do love their puns. I suppose it would be a bit crunchy, but I'm sure he slept as sweet as cinnamon. And for the last one, well, this one always makes me smile. What does Mrs. Claus say to me when she looks out the window and the sky is a bit gray? She says, "It looks like rain, dear." Ho, 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 ho. She's always known how to make me laugh, especially before a long journey. A little bit of laughter, you see. It's a special kind of magic. It can brighten the darkest winter night and warm you from the inside out. It's a gift we can all share, and it costs nothing at all but a moment of joy.
I wonder, in your home, do you have a special way of counting the days until my visit? Perhaps it's a calendar with rows of little paper windows, one for each day of December. Oh, I do love those. The Advent calendar. There's a special kind of magic in waking up each morning and knowing there is a small door waiting to be opened, isn't there? A tiny surprise just for you, a piece of chocolate, a picture, or sometimes even a little part of a story that unfolds day by day. It's a lovely tradition, and it started in a very simple way. A long time ago, in Germany, I remember seeing families mark their doors with a bit of chalk for each day that passed. Just a simple line, but it held so much excitement. Then a young man named Gerhard Long remembered something his own mother had done for him when he was a boy. To help him with the long wait for Christmas, she had attached little sweets to a piece of cardboard for him to enjoy each day. He never forgot that kindness. So he took that beautiful idea and created the first printed calendar for everyone to share. A mother's love. Now that's a powerful kind of magic. Here at the North Pole, the elves have a giant one in the toy workshop. It's taller than the tallest elf. And each morning, a different elf gets to open the day's door as we all gather around. It's a wonderful little moment we all share together. And that, I think, is the true heart of it all. An Advent calendar isn't just about counting down to one big day. It's a reminder to find a little bit of wonder in every day of this beautiful season, building the joy one small moment at a time. Ho, 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 ho. You know, my dear Mrs. Claus has a way of seeing the heart of a matter when the rest of us are just looking at the calendar. It's a true gift. Just the other day, I walked into the mailroom and saw young Phineas Sparkletoe. He had a great big calendar tacked to the wall, and with a bright red marker in his hand, he was putting a big, triumphant X over the date. He turned to me, his eyes wide with anticipation, and said, "Only 19 days to go, Santa." He was practically vibrating with excitement for the big night. All his focus was on that one final square at the end of the month. Well, Mrs. Claus came by at that very moment, carrying a tray of warm gingerbread. She saw him too, and she smiled that wonderful, knowing smile of hers. She set down the tray, put a hand on his little shoulder, and said so warmly, "Don't just count the days, dear. Make the days count." Isn't that just the perfect way to see it? She wasn't trying to quell his spirit, not at all. She was reminding him and me that the magic isn't just waiting for us at the end. It's right here. It's in the sound of the wrapping paper, the scent of the baking, the feeling of purpose we share in these busy, wonderful days. I am a very fortunate fellow. Her wisdom is the true north here at the North Pole. It is the light that keeps our workshop and our hearts so very bright. You know, most letters I receive are full of delightful drawings and wishes for the newest toys. But every now and then, one arrives that feels different. This one here, it's written on lovely cream-colored paper. The ink flows in the most beautiful looping script. It feels warm just holding it. Let me see what it says. Dear Santa Claus, I am writing to you not with a list, but with a hope. I have been blessed to see 85 Christmases, and my memory is a treasure chest of snowy evenings and the scent of gingerbread. I remember building snow forts with my brother, our laughter fogging up in the cold air. I remember my mother's hands dusted with flour, letting me press the cookie cutters into the dough. My wish this year is not for myself, it is for my grandchildren. They are wonderful children, but their world is so full of bright, flashing screens. My wish, dear Santa, is for them to experience a simple, quiet magic. I wish for them to know the joy of a story told by firelight, not on a screen. I wish for them to have a snowball fight so grand they forget about everything. I wish for them to feel the pride of hanging an ornament they made themselves. Please help them find the wonder that can't be plugged in. With a heart full of hope, Eleanor. My, Eleanor, what a beautiful wish. You see, this is the very heart of Christmas, isn't it? It's not about what is under the tree, but who is around it. The greatest gifts are the ones we cannot wrap in paper or tie with a bow. The memory of a shared story, the warmth of a kitchen filled with family, the quiet peace of watching the snow fall together. These things, they build a home inside our hearts that we can carry with us forever. That magic you remember so fondly, Eleanor, it hasn't gone away. It's still here. It's in every snowflake, every carol, and every act of kindness. Sometimes it just needs a little nudge to be noticed again. Eleanor, my dear, thank you for your letter. It is a gift in itself. And I will tell you a little secret. The love you have for your grandchildren is the most powerful magic of all. Don't you worry. That wonder you wish for them, it's already there. Ho, 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 it's already there.
Oh, it's a beautiful evening here at the pole. The elves are all tucked in, the reindeer are dreaming of starry skies, and I have a quiet moment with one of my oldest friends, the Great Ledger. You know, the ink in this book is quite magical. It appears on the page all on its own, shimmering like gold dust whenever an act of kindness happens somewhere in the world. I was just turning a page, and 2 new entries caught my eye. They warmed my heart so I simply had to share them with you. The first one, here it is. It takes us to a bright sunny plaza in Mexico. A wonderful musician was playing his guitar, and the most beautiful music was dancing through the air. But then, snap! A string broke. The music stopped, and a hush fell over the crowd. A young woman named Isabella saw the musician's face fall. Now she could have just walked on by, but she didn't. She hurried to a little shop, and with her own money, she bought a new set of strings and brought them back to him. Soon, the music was playing again, fuller and brighter than before. It wasn't just about a guitar string, you see. It was about seeing a moment of joy and making sure it could continue. That is the very spirit of support. Helping the music of the world keep playing. And then, just a few pages over, a story of a different kind of quiet goodness. This one is from a peaceful forest in Finland.
A family, the Ericsons, was on a walk when they spotted something tiny in the moss. It was a baby bird fallen from its nest, so small and helpless. They looked up and saw the nest, far too high to reach. But together they carefully wove a little basket from twigs and leaves, placed the little bird inside, and gently, oh so carefully, lifted it back up to a sturdy branch near its home. Not long after, its mother returned, and there was much happy chirping. Ha 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 ho! They didn't do it for any reward. They did it because their hearts told them to care for a creature in need, no matter how small. It's a reminder that kindness isn't just for each other, but for all the living things we share this world with. Seeing these stories, one after the other, it fills this old heart of mine with such hope. From a bustling city to a quiet wood, people are choosing kindness. They are choosing to help. And that, my dear friend, is the most wonderful magic of all.
Ho, ho, ho! The workshop is quiet for a moment, and the air is filled with that wonderful scent of pine and gingerbread. It's the perfect time for a story. Come, listen for a spell. I'd like to tell you the tale of Squeaky the Squirrel and the last winter acorn. Now, Squeaky was a very busy little squirrel, with a fine bushy tail and the brightest eyes you've ever seen. All autumn, he had worked tirelessly, gathering nuts and seeds for the long winter. But he had set aside one, just one, for his own Christmas feast. Oh, it was a treasure, the most perfect acorn he had ever found, plump and smooth, with a little cap that sat just right. On Christmas Eve, he took it out and admired it in the moonlight, his mouth watering in anticipation. But just as he was about to take that first celebratory bite, he glanced down from his cozy home in the old maple tree. There, huddled in the snow below, was a small family of field mice. They looked so tiny and so cold, and he could see their little whiskers trembling. They had no food at all. Squeaky held his acorn tight. It was his special Christmas treat. He had earned it. But as he looked at those little mice, a warmth spread through his chest that had nothing to do with his nest. With a little sigh, he scurried down the tree trunk. He broke his perfect acorn into small pieces and laid them before the astonished mice. Their squeaks of gratitude were the most beautiful Christmas music he had ever heard. Watching them eat, his own heart felt fuller than his stomach could ever have. He went back to his home, feeling peaceful and content, and soon fell asleep. When he awoke on Christmas morning, well,
There, at the entrance to his little hollow, sat a small burlap sack. It was tied with a bright red ribbon, and inside it was overflowing with the most magnificent walnuts, pecans, and hazelnuts a squirrel could ever dream of. A tiny note tucked in the side simply read, "For a generous heart." My elves, you see, they have a way of noticing these things. It's a lovely little story, isn't it? It reminds us that kindness is a gift that we give to ourselves. What you share with the world has a way of coming back to you, often in ways you least expect. It's the true magic of the season. Yes, it truly is.